I just want to get started since we have the hour. This is all being recorded. People are filing in right now, and we'll let people watch the replay if they miss it. But on behalf of me and everyone at Agency Collective, thanks so much for doing this. Appreciate your time today. It's my understanding that you have a presentation to give on building 8-figure sales teams and all sorts of other stuff. And I think the best way we can give value to our community today is for me to shut up and you just go to town talking about sales. And so I don't know if you did want to share like your background in agency world or whatever, but man, I'll let you take it away and introduce yourself.
Okay, cool. So I'll share my screen. Yeah, a lot of my background and stuff is included in the presentation. But basically, but I wasn't always, the category king or go-to sales trainer in the industry or any of that stuff that people know about. In high school, I was so socially awkward, I constantly got made fun of. When I started in sales, I was the worst person on my team. I was not a natural, anything but a natural. But I was still able to build really the largest, most successful sales training company in our industry. And the reason why I tell you that is because so many people with sales ascribe it to their identity. They say, I'm not a salesperson, I'm not a sales trainer. I'm just, I'm not the person that manages a sales team. And it's not, something you're born with or your identity by any means. I mean, sure, there's people who have a more natural proclivity to it, but like anything else, it's a skill that anybody can develop. So the thing is your vehicle or like your sales systems, it will help. It really helps. The way to put this would be if you're bringing in a salesperson, it's going to increase their likelihood of success, having good systems, right? What it also does is gives you more recruiting power in the marketplace. Because if you have a better system for salespeople to win, they can make more money, they can have higher on-track earnings, they can have more growth. Those are all things that make a great offer in the recruiting marketplace, because the recruiting marketplace operates the same thing as any marketplace. Like when you're trying to market, you want to make a good offer, right? When you're trying to recruit, it's kind of the same thing. So with all that being said, the question becomes, what's the right vehicle? So number one is a validated offer. So most people probably on this call have that, but that means you sold what you have, 10 times, 20 times, whatever. Like it's something you validated to people who don't know you, right? Like it's not your mother's cousin or whatever that's buying it, or some dude who's been following you on social for like 2 years. You have a pretty good, people who just are finding out about it, are buying it, and there's some validation there. Once you have that system in place, you can determine the on-track earnings, which is basically how much is the salesperson going to make selling for me, okay? Which is like 50% of the equation of what a salesperson needs to know to want to work for you. I would say the other 50% is a combination of what type of status do they get from working with you, and also what type of growth. But a big part of it is going to be the comp. I mean, these are salespeople, right? So the comp, their on-track earnings is determined by 3 things. One of those is the comp structure. But then the other thing is the existing lead flow available to the salesperson and then the closing, okay? Then the final thing I'll say, just in terms of having the right things in place before building a sales team, is having good mission, vision, and values. So if you're hiring your first reps, this is gonna be you. But like, let's say you have a team of 4 people, there's probably one person on your team that like does the process really well. You kind of trust them. Have everybody ride that person's calls. So they just ride coach on all of their calls. Usually call them like, hey, this is my assistant or something like that. Going from decent though to exceptional is about capitalizing on what I call fringe deals. Okay, it's a concept I completely made up, but it's a good term for what I'm going for here. So I like to say there's 3 types of deals. There's laydowns, right? These are the people your sales team's like, man, we need more of those. Like marketing, can you get us more of these people? These are perfect. Well, let's look. Like in any pipeline, there's going to be laydowns. Salespeople, I didn't hire you to close the laydowns. I expect you to close the laydowns. I hired you to close deals that are hard. That's what you're paid to do. So if there's laydowns, then there's also an equal percentage, usually 10 to 20%, that are just never going to close for whatever reason, one reason or another. They're just never going to close.
Cool, man. Dude, this has been super helpful. It's been really, really good. Thank you so much for coming on, guys. If y'all want to get in touch with Cole and his team, you just saw that link or that QR code. Google him. You can find his stuff, closers.io. We're actually interviewing someone in Agency Collective on Thursday named Jacob Deffendorf, who used Cole's team to stack his agency with closers. Jacob, it's one of our best case studies. He went from like $2K a month to $250K per month in less than like 18 months or something. So we're having him on Thursday. But Cole, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. On behalf of everyone, thanks for being here, man.